that we've been doing historically is what happens when you sit in a high-speed train and you look up. The demands in terms of security have been greatly increasing over the last years in terms of sensors, security systems, in terms of emergency. Actually, what we're finding is we have very long-term investment cycles.
Infrastructure isn't optional, it's essential. From the MKK in Munich, I'm Lyndsay Malchuk with Abaton. As demand for transport, energy, and connectivity grows, the companies building those systems become more critical than ever. SBF operates right inside that backbone, supplying components that keep infrastructure moving and evolving. And strategy in this space is absolutely everything. Joining me now is the CSO of SBF, Dr. David Hoeflmayr. David, it's so great to have you.
Lyndsay, it's a great pleasure to be here.
You know, Munich in the spring, I can't complain, that's for sure.
It's been freezing outside, but it's going to be warm today.
The day that we wrap up, and of course it's going to be the day that's the most beautiful. So let's actually take a look at your company. You're sitting right at the intersection of infrastructure, mobility, and technology. So the question around that for our investors is, so when you look at the SBF today, are you still a rail-focused supplier, or are you actively evolving into a broader technology space?
That's a very good question. Thank you. I mean, the core business that we've been doing historically is what happens when you sit in a high-speed train and you look up.
Okay.
You see the ceiling systems, you see lights, you see more and more electronics, sensors, systems installed into them. And initially it was just lights and kind of ceilings. And now this has become a lot smarter. The demands in terms of security have been greatly increasing over the last years in terms of sensors, security systems, in terms of emergency. And that's why we have evolved. We have actually purchased a company a few years ago that does manufacture electronics, and that really greatly helps us integrate the software and the intelligence into these systems.
You know, that's innovative right there. For one, and you have to, that's the thing, you have to just keep evolving and evolving, right? What about your operational performance? You know, what's the biggest driver behind your operational progress as it sits right now?
Well, looking back towards 25, we felt it was a mixed year. One very much dominated by insecurity. Of course, the tariffs have been raising a lot of questions. And we felt that in all the segments that we serve, customers were careful and delaying investments and activities as much as they felt necessary. On the other side, we see a great lot of new projects and new stuff coming up, and we feel that we're very well positioned. We're starting up with projects in the drone area, and so it's fascinating new projects coming up. So it's a mixed picture for us. Our focus for 25. Looking at numbers was one where we had significantly less revenue because we were also ourselves, of course, focusing on profitable business and slimming things down as much as we could. But still, from an EBITDA perspective, it was a positive development. So while shrinking revenue-wise, we've been holding profitability and increasing it slightly, and so. Also for us, it was one of careful movement, seeing where the market moves and at the same time investing and being well prepared for the new stuff coming up.
With all the volatility that is happening right now around the world, how is your company navigating through all of it?
Well, in the railroad core system, actually what we're finding is we have very long-term investment cycles. Basically, train interior is something that starts maybe, takes 1 or 2 years during the bidding, the design phase, the initial planning. And then our customers launch an order, and then they basically pick and call these orders over the next 10 to 15 years for the same train. And so actually in this core system, we find that there's, of course, innovation coming up, but there's also a lot of just historic flow coming into which of course helps us. And that's a stable core business and the long-term prospect we have there.
You know, I can see that. I can definitely see that. What are some of the challenges that you're facing, though?
We're facing challenges in the core business, basically, with customers ordering stop and go. We've got these full order books, and also our customers, which are the railroad manufacturers or the rolling stock manufacturers, they also have full order books, backlogs over years, but actually delivering and building those trains is a stop and go type of thing, because they're such complex engineering structures that sometimes there's always some supplier that's not working right now.
Do you think with that challenges that you're having, do you think that that is what the market just is not understanding quite yet?
I think the market is understanding that quite well. I think we're very lucky to have long-term shareholders that stay with us and trust into those developments. They like the overall stability of the core business, but also the flexibility of building something in the digital space and sensor space. And so we actually feel that we can be very proud and happy with our shareholder base.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, shareholders, they see what they see, and then they make their own perspective for sure. So do you feel like there's something that the market's just not getting quite yet?
Well, I think the opportunities are hard to grasp.
Okay.
In terms of electronics, in terms of security. I mean, another segment that we haven't talked about yet is public lighting systems, street lamps. They have also greatly moved over the years from just being lamps and just providing light, and then being LED lightings in terms of saving energy. But now they're full of sensors, and they're actually smart systems providing Wi-Fi system, traffic monitoring, weather monitoring. And so these things are quite different creatures those days. And it's hard to see when you're just walking across the street. And so that is something that we have been following, and we've got more and more modular products where we basically can quickly exchange and modernize existing streetlights.
That is wild. I never knew that they did so many different functions. And maybe that's it. Maybe it's the education around how in-depth your products are too.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, well, let's talk about the expansion into the sensors and into the electronics. Moving up the value chain, how important is the shift into electronics and sensors for the company?
Well, we think it's an important part of our future. I mean, of course, a lot of what we do is physical manufacturing, and it's quite complex. If you imagine a train, and you imagine just all the sealing systems throughout a train, there's maybe 80 different sealing panels within one train, and we have to deliver them one by one in the right sequence at the same time. And so this is something where we find with a lean German and Czech production system, we kind of having the ability to produce these complex physical products is a basis that we're proud of and that we want to certainly keep. But they have become a lot smarter, and this is something that is not changing. For example, imagine a train going through a tunnel at 300 kilometers an hour. All the lights have to dim in the right sequence and be bright again once you enter and come out again. And these kind of electronics, you don't see them. The light color is changing in those in those trains by weather. When it rains, we've got a warmer color than when the sun shines, and things like that. And so these types of features have become a lot more important for our customers, and they keep evolving in terms of, for example, seating sensors, where you want to have a navigation system that helps passengers through their app to find empty seats in the train, and things like that. So it's really changing a lot, and we're of course proud to be part of that transition.
I would say so as well. I'm so intrigued by the company because it is, there is so much movement happening and you have to keep up so much just to stay ahead of the game. What are some of the catalysts that you want to hit in the coming quarters?
I think in terms of the core business, well, let's start with the public lighting system segment. That is one where we mostly focus on the German market. The other markets are basically international. But the German market is one where we feel, because there's a huge investment of 500 billion euros coming down towards communities also from the federal government, there's a lot of waiting for the money. That's what we feel on the local level. And we're really looking forward. We're seeing more and more activity of communities starting to think about these projects and to modernize their lighting system. A lot of street lights in Germany are not up to date at this point. We've still got some good gas lights in Germany going.
No.
Yes.
That's expensive.
It certainly is. I mean, they're nice, but like you say, it's not quite
Not
up to date.
sustainable.
Yeah. And so we're really looking forward to that coming and fantastic new projects coming up in that space. And in terms of electronics, it's fantastic for us to have the ability to develop hardware and software and produce it all in-house.
Well, David, this has been such an honor to sit with you and to learn about this company. My gosh, you are so forward-thinking, and I never knew that there was so much that went into just what looks like a simple light. So there's a lot happening, and I can't wait to learn more. So thank you again for sitting with us.
Lyndsay, thanks so much. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Absolutely. Now, what's your ticker symbol? What's your website?
SBF.AG or SBF.com. And come visit us, have a look at the groups. We've got also sub-websites with a lot of information about the 3 segments in the company. So come and visit, have a look.
Okay, perfect. And where are you trading?
We're trading in Munich. Basically it's the Munich Stock Exchange.
Head to the website and you can find out all the trading information there. David, this space is so great. Thank you again. And for all of those watching, demand doesn't disappear, it grows. And positioning inside that trend is very powerful. SBF is clearly aligned with that trajectory. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.